Hello, good morning, Sunday here in the Philippines. I see that with the shutting down of Myke'S Philippine journey, the guy I often describe as Myke, has, I won't say resurfaced, but he clearly has made use of another channel that he has. Filipino Reaction Channel, I think he calls it. It gained probably another 60 or 80 subscribers since the event of his pulling down by YouTube or Google, whoever it was. But what he has put up is basically more and more of the, I don't know, negative attempts of really showing his own anger, dismay, I suppose, of what's happened to him. And clearly, I do understand. I don't think I really should say I sympathize with him, because that would be to suggest that somehow I think what he was doing was okay and what happened to him is unfortunate. But what I can say is that it's been extremely pleasing by many of the people out there in YouTube land that he is no longer currently gracing himself on YouTube, continually attacking myself and many of the other channels. My joy or my pleasure is the fact that the numerous attempts to reason with him, to understand that if he wants to attack me, that's fine. Sorry, frog in the throat. But to attack my immediate family, whether the girls or Jane, I think is despicable. But he has a habit of doing this to all of the channels. He attacks children, he attacks wives, and he justifies himself with his so-called responses. I have the receipts. But his latest video, come short, is again showing his true colors. He can't let go. And it shows his, dare I say, narcissistic behavior. Most of us who have a channel here in the Philippines or anywhere in the world do it because basically we enjoy doing it as a hobby. Some of us make a little bit of money, some make a lot. In my case, it's just a token amount each month. Certainly would not be something that I would rely on for income. But the problem that lies, I can understand why he is trying so hard to get back in there, back in the saddle, which is great. Don't let the world knock you down. But unfortunately, that's not the real world we live in. A lot of the channels have had a breather, an opportunity to step back from the controversy that he always brings to his channels. I wouldn't give him the credit of suggesting he's some kind of shock jock, because he's not. He's really, I suppose, a sad individual that needs the channel to support his way of thinking. My thoughts for the day are my thoughts, and many of you draw comparisons to what you perceive my life to be, whether correct or not. And that's your prerogative. But my intention is to highlight issues that can and often do appear in everyone's life, not just expats, but everyone. It is correct to say that if you have chosen the wrong woman, life can be difficult. But if you choose the right one, life can also have its ups and downs. You're not exempt from anything, whether you're in the Philippines or overseas, when you share your life with a woman. Women, after all, think differently than us as men. And many women say they sympathize or they understand what we're saying. But really, do they? They maybe make educated assumptions. But at the end of the day, we as men operate basically autonomously from the rest of a family. We are perceived to be the breadwinner. We are perceived to be the protector, the one with the money, presupposing that the woman who maybe has an income, whatever level, why does she do it? She does it because she wants her own independence. She wants to be able to make decisions for herself. So the moment that a woman teams up with a man, somehow is that a reason to then demand equal amounts? Why aren't you giving me money, darling? Why is it that I have to spend mine? Well, I suppose the answer to that is many reasons. One be that you give a woman $100, she's going to spend it differently than maybe you would. You might focus on things that you think are important for the home. She might also do the same. But if you put the two things beside each other on the table, you can ask the question or pose the question, what did you see in that? Why did you choose that? We are all different, and there's no doubt about it. And I've tried all sorts of things myself here in the Philippines in terms of budget, in terms of allocating money, making decisions myself, making decisions together. None of them necessarily are successful, as they would have been anywhere in the world, because the challenge in life is to find an equilibrium between two people, and that can be a hard ask. If you throw into the pot the idea that somehow, and many of you will say, I've heard you say it, my wife is such a good budgeter. Well, congratulations. But not everyone is. And as I've spoken before in videos that I've done, once we set the bar too high, we can never go back. In fact, even if we set it higher than we might have wanted and discover that we're living beyond maybe our financial requirements, wasting money on things that are not necessary, it's always hard to scrimp and put the money down to a level that is more affordable for all. After all, Filipinos live for today. Some worry about tomorrow, but certainly not beyond much more than a few days. A good example is that they will go out and buy a week's supply of food, but inevitably it will run out, as it always does. Why? Well, because circumstances change. I get hungry. She gets hungry. They get hungry. Whoever it is. And a meal is made or a snack. Again, of course, eating into what was planned for maybe tomorrow. and to try and make sense of a week's worth of groceries and to plan it out, to put it aside for each meal, maybe leaving a certain amount for those snack moments, is extremely hard because they see a fridge full of food and it's like we've got to eat it as quickly as possible. No thought of planning there. Friends might come around, or you might want to take food for friends at work. Who knows? But eventually the eggs will run out, the cheese will run out, the butter, the sari items like pancit or noodles or milk or a myriad of things. But of course, we all know that that comes within one's budget, one's requirements for getting through a month. The thing is that also things are taken for granted. Many people live with 1 or 2 light bulbs in their homes, and they're not in a hurry to leave them on every time they leave the room, regardless of whether they're low wattage or not. They get in a habit of turning them off, but some don't. Some are happy to move in with foreigners, and when the foreigner puts a dozen lights in a room, why not just leave them on all night? No problem. Again, mindset. It's all good and proper for you to have a mindset, but if you don't teach them the same mindset, things will just slip by the way. And these are not meant as messages of negativity that can be grasped upon for content by people like Myke'S Philippine Journey, who unfortunately is avoiding having his channel pulled down again, because no doubt he's managed to register it in another name, so they haven't quite picked up to the fact that he's supposed to not have a channel anymore. But that's community standards for you. YouTube makes the rules and it bends them as it sees fit. One just hopes that the traction that he's hoping with his new channel doesn't end up being the same bugbear that we all have had to suffer from for years. For a guy living with his mother in America, criticizing Filipino ways, Filipino things, and most of all, both American and British expats here in the Philippines. So guys, let's hope it doesn't grow and grow and grow. Let's hope it goes and goes and goes and disappears. And we don't hear any more about the old man dying, the old man's teeth, or the fact that he might wear the same colour shirt more than once in a day. It's getting rather boring, and he's getting more and more frustrated. You can see it in his face. So I just hope he and his family have a pleasant Christmas without all the drama that he himself has created for himself and all of his channels. Some just choose to ignore him. But I think that ignoring someone can have a detrimental effect too, because it's like sweeping something under the carpet. If you do that all the time, sooner or later when you turn back the carpet, you'll see it still there. And just like he says, I'll be back, Arnold Schwarzenegger. But let's hope Myke won't be. Let's not feel that we have to be bullied every day by a strange guy on YouTube who seems to enjoy picking holes in everything we have to say. And good on the guys that have stuck it out and soldiered forward. The likes of, well, you know the channels. And the people who follow them, thank you. And those that follow my channel, thank you. But where are the 24,000 of his so-called loyal followers? Maybe he bought them. Maybe he bought the subscribers. And really, looking at his new channel, I think he's got a long way to go. That's my thought for Sunday. I hope you have a lovely day. Bye now.